To charge the power bank too. What's the start from?
You are live, Victoria.
Hello guys, good evening. So it's Victoria Nebeli, and yeah, this is another office hour with me and Isiaka. Isiaka will join the call soon. He's having a little bit of technical challenge. Sorry, the class is just starting. We had a little issue, right? Little technical issue, but we are now. So this week we are starting HTML properly, and we sent out resources for HTML, right? We sent out resources for HTML. As usual, we are going to be attending to questions from the form, and then I may do a little bit of explanation outside the questions from the form. Yeah, so please, before I start, I would like you guys to know that it is actually very, very important to use your form, to use the form for questions, right? We sent out so many resources. We want you guys to consume these resources, go through the resources. It's on the LMS, right? After going through the resources, if you have any question, please make sure to use the form. I posted the form for front-end guys and full stack guys, right? So you all should be able to see the form on the LMS, right? So please log into your LMS. If you have not seen the form, check for it, right? And use the form for your questions, right? Thank you. So just some questions from the form. Somebody asked when we said link, if we meant URL. Please, anytime we mention link, it's still the same thing as URL. Send your Google Doc link is the same thing as saying send your Google Doc URL. Now, I have other questions, but I'm going to explain the assignment because I got questions on the assignment too. I got questions on the assignment. So I'm just going to open the LMS, right? So we can check the questions together, the assignments together. I'm going to log in. So the tax, we have 1 year. Okay. Okay, so this assignment says a tribute page is an overview of someone whom you admire in life. Create an HTML page for that legend. Below are the requirements for the task. It says that you should include a title or heading on the tribute page, right? So a tribute page basically is just a page that talks about someone you admire, maybe someone that inspires you. So we actually wanted to, create a single HTML page for that person. You don't need to add anything. You don't need to add CSS because we have not started CSS. So it can just be a pure HTML page, right? But the main thing is that you should generate this HTML page, right? So this place says, a tribute page. This is an example. So the title should be something like this: Dr. Chris Ngige, right? Add a description for the tribute page. I'm not going to be doing this because this is your task, right? This is your task. So, but I'm just going to look through. So I think somebody asked a question on this. You should include a timeline, multiple things. You should have at least 10 list items. So we have list tags, right? We expect you to use tags. If you have gone through the resources, good. If you're not gone through the resources, please go through the resources. Every single thing in this assignment, everything here that is resources, right? I've explained the resources. Before you ask questions, it should be that, okay, you've gone through the resources and you did not understand something after going through the resources, right? Or probably you can point to a particular section of the video and say, okay, this part of the video, the mentor said this or said that, and I did not understand. That's where, and you still need more explanation. So the question I got is the submission mode. The submission mode is actually here, CodePen URL. So you're not submitting in a Google Docs. You're not submitting anything in the Google Docs. Open your CodePen. When you open your CodePen, you don't need to put the HTML structure because of the error, right? So you don't need to put the HTML structure because of the error. That's HTML structure. So you just put everything you want to do here. You can forget about the CSS part and the JS part because we have not introduced you all to JS. Use the tags here, right, for your assignment. So let's say, for example, you want to write a paragraph about the person, so you can just, complete in CodePen. And the reason why we actually like CodePen is because it will force you to, type everything by yourself. There's no autocomplete as I'm typing right now. So you can just, put in your tag and do what you want to do there, right? Just write much, right? So the URL is CodePen. So it's just for you to, copy this URL. You have to give this place a title. If you don't give this a so you can just name it assignment 1. Assignment 1. So I'm just going to so assignment 1, you can just name it assignment 1, and you have to save it. Save your work, we're not going to see your work. So you just save it, then you copy this URL and send to us, right? So we'll be able to see your work. So it's actually CodePen URL. Don't get it twisted. CodePen URL, not a Google Doc. So why I said there's no need for you to put the HTML structure here, because it's already built as an HTML environment. So you don't need to put the HTML structure. If you put in the HTML structure, and this error may not allow you to type the rest of your code, right? But when you're using VS Code, it is a must that you put in your HTML structure. So yeah, that is it for the assignment. Then the second assignment, let's quickly share the second assignment about Mr. Ade. Assignments, yeah, we have videos on it. There's a video explaining tables, video introducing HTML properly, HTML in depth. So everything you have here as an assignment, everything you have here as an assignment. So everything that is here, once you go through the resources, you should not have any issues at all, right? Like I said, please go through the resources before asking any question. This guy said, no, copying your CodePen URL. save a document first for copy URL. So for Mr. Ade's tax, please, for Mr. Ade's tax, okay, the submission mode for Mr. Ade's tax is the CodePen URL. The submission mode is the CodePen URL. Please use the CodePen URL for Mr. Ade's assignment. Use the CodePen URL for Mr. Ade's assignment. The resources is on the LMS, so let's just check that. We'll check post for the resources. If you don't know where the resources are, right? Check post. Resources have been sent out. If you are doing front end, you would not see all these other ones because it has nothing to do with you. So you have like less posts to view on your own dashboard, right? It is because I am a tutor, that's why I can see every post here. So if you open your dashboard, click on posts, you should see the post that has to do with front end. So I'm just going to check this. So this place says, so I'm trying to navigate and get the resources. There's so many posts here, and that's because I can see all the posts. So you can see here, week 2 front-end resources. Week 2 front-end resources. So just check posts for resources. We have a video introducing HTML. We have a video introducing forms, validation, and tables. So if Mr. Ade tax is actually not clear to you, it is probably because you have not gone through the video on tables, right? You have not gone through the video on tables. So you have to go through the video on tables to understand how tables work. When you watch this video, you should understand Mr. Ade's tax properly, right? And then we have another video more on HTML. And then we have a live project where we built, where we just, created something using pure HTML. Yes, so as you can see, already commenting, nice, thank you, noted, right? Please, if you are watching the video and it's blurry, that's probably because of the quality you are using to watch the video. Kindly increase the quality on your own device and everything should work out well for you. So I'm going to attend to other questions. I still have questions on tax that have not been graded. Please, as usual, I'll say it, be patient, your tax will be graded. So somebody asked about Embed Tag, right? So before I actually talk more about this, let me just talk about HTML, a little, just little to institution. We already explained a lot using the, I'm just going to, touch a few things concerning HTML semantics, and the HTML structure. It basically tells, HTML semantics is actually about using things the right way, So what I mean, people are asking for clarity. This is what I mean. If I copy this thing now, this is the HTML, copy this and go to CodePen wrongly, right? If you come to CodePen now and you paste this, shows an error. If I ignore this error, right, just put in what I want to put in here. Just type the P tag. Hello, people. I'm just going to. This is the P tag, for example, right? It displays, right? So if you use the HTML structure, awesome. What I mean is, if you don't put this HTML structure, you will still be penalized. Error here, this exclamation mark, right? Some people now click on this exclamation mark and you see that it's that goes in the body goes here, right? Because CodePen has already taken it that this is an HTML doc. So anything you write without the HTML structure will work, right? It will work. So basically, it just shows this error. So some people might say, okay, because of it shows this error, I will not put the code you badly. But if you can put the HTML structure, awesome too, right? Awesome too. Just HTML that goes in the body goes here. It will not go away until I clear this. I clear this off. This is not going to go away. Now I have cleared it. It has actually gone away. Yes. So that is actually it. So back to HTML. Let me zoom in a bit. So yeah, this is actually too much. Now to zoom your VS Code, it's actually very simple. Just do the Control plus or Control minus. That will actually zoom your VS Code, zoom or unzoom it. As you can see, I have an index.css file. I'm not going to touch the CSS file because this is purely HTML file too, and I'm just teaching HTML. So we're going to be focused on HTML. Structure. This is an HTML structure. I'm just going to clear this off. So basically, you do not need to cram it, right? It is actually good you understand it, but if you don't, it's still a problem. It is not still a problem, right? If you can copy, you can, yes. For you to put HTML5, HTML, you can see that HTML, these options are showing here. So just click HTML5. That's the latest. And you can see that the HTML structure comes in. So you don't need to cram anything. You can just, if you want to use it in CodePen or you want to use it on Replit actually gives you the HTML structure and paste it in CodePen or wherever you want to paste it, right? I said, I've explained that. I've explained HTML structure, the HTML template on the CodePen, good. If you don't put it because you cannot type based on the error it pops up, still okay, right? So this is the HTML. I'm looking at the chat as I'm speaking. So I'm going to ignore the chats for now and just, I hope I am not breaking. Yes, I hope I'm not breaking. So you copy your URL from your CodePen app. So this is the HTML structure. As you can see, all these things have been explained in the resources. Doc type just simply means what kind of document. It tells your browser that the document type is an HTML document, right? The simply means English, by using the English language, right? And for HTML, everything concerning HTML are all tags. Everything are tags. You can't, anything you want to write a tag, and there are different tags. There are different tags. Right? There are different tags for different things. As you can see here, this says HTML. This is the HTML. Must be contained in the HTML tag because it's an HTML document. As you can see, we opened HTML. anytime you want to close a tag in HTML, you use the slash. HTML will not throw error, right? So you have to be very, very sure that what you are. I've removed the closing tag for this HTML document, and you can see that it's not even showing me like looking at this normally, it's not showing me any, it's not showing me any error. It's not showing any error. HTML will not show correct. So the slash is to close it, right? Use open, see this body tag now. It is opened. To close it, you put the body tag to, and it applies to all other tag, right? Except for tags that like tags like this, HR, you don't need to, it is just a single ended tag, right? You don't need to close it with slash like this. You don't need to close it with slash like, okay, you don't need to close it with slash. It's just like this. This HR creates a line in your document. Somebody asked, I have been trying to create a line in my document using, and it is not working. BR is different from HR. BR simply means break. BR simply means to create a line on your document. If I go into that, as you can see here, this is the head section. The HTML document is divided into two sections, right? Into two sections. The first one is section, the head section, right? And the second one is the body section. So the head section, like details about your document goes, right? This is where it goes, the meta cassette, the meta tags, the title. You know, when you, let's go here, for example, when you go, as you can see this place, it says, if you look at this, this tab here, you can see that this is the title of this site, right? That is actually made possible through the head section. You can see here, this place, the title of my document is just documents. I can change this to, I am Victoria. Please, you can write your code on VS Code and copy it to CodePen. The main thing is that you should make your submission using the CodePen to accomplish this is fine, but make your submission using the CodePen URL. So this title here, I've changed it to I am Victoria using Lifesaver. Like, just like what we said, for your VS Code, you need Lifesaver extension and you need the prettier extension. So we're just going to open this using Lifesaver. Please, for the meta tags, kindly watch the resources. The first video exactly, every single thing in the head section and even the body section, right? So I'm actually running my code using Lifesaver. And as you can see here, if I over on this tab right here, you can see it says, I am Victoria. It says, I am Victoria. That is this is because of the title tag, right? The title tag, I've given my tab, I am Victoria. So the title tag actually goes in the head section. If you don't understand what I'm saying in the class, it is simply probably because you have not gone through the resources, and that's fine because today is Monday. Please go through the resources and you Live server and prettier extension. Live server and prettier extension. So as you can see for the HTML document, we have the head section. This is the head section. You can see that we open the head tag and we close it. Goes into the head section. Things like you linking other documents. If you want to link the CSS document to the HTML document, you actually use you put your link in the head tag. I want to link this my CSS document to my HTML document so that my HTML document can read what is in my CSS document. I use the link tag and I have to put it in the head section. So I'm just going to use the link tag. We have different tags in HTML for different purposes. So the link tag is meant to link the HTML document to other documents. That is the one we are talking about semantics. Semantics just requires that you use the right tag for the right things. You use the right tag for the right things. We have link tag. If you want to link a document to the HTML document, use the link tag. If you want to put a break, if you want to break a word, use the break tag. That is HTML semantic for you. If you want to write a paragraph, you use the paragraph tag. That is what HTML semantics is all about. You have the header section, you have the main section, and you have the footer section. What it means is just using the HTML semantics, right? I want to link my style sheet. I'm just going to put the relationship, right, between the document I'm linking to the HTML file. Like, what is the relation? So I'm just going to say that is the style, it's the style sheet actually. So the relationship is the fact that it is the style sheet for the HTML document. And this href just simply means your link, right? Or the document name. The document here as index.css. So I'm just going to put it there, index.css. You can see prompts up options for me. And as you can see here, so I'm just going to click index. I'm going to close this up. It is an open-ended tag. It does not have a closing tag. It is an open-ended tag. It opens itself and closes itself, right? So as you can see, link here, I'm just going to put the rel attributes, the href attributes, and good to go. Sheet is now linked to my HTML document. So tags like this goes into the head. Tags like this goes into the head section. Yes, when you are using, see, every single thing you do in HTML, you have to use HTML semantics. When it comes to web pages or websites, there are people that read that do not actually, they have what there's actually a process where you actually get to read information from a website, right? You read information from a website, you get details from HTML tags. It's going to make reading from your website difficult because the browser may not understand what you're trying to do. So you have to make sure that you're using the right tag for the right purposes. That is why we have different tags. To have different tags. So people asking what prettier means. Prettier is simply an extension that helps you make your work prettier, right? So let's say I have something like P here, right? And I have hello world. This P tag is actually the paragraph tag. So let's say I have the paragraph tag here, right? I am Victoria. So let's say I have something like this. This is my work right now. And this does not look pretty at all. It looks scattered. In fact, any other front-end developer that wants to look at my work right now is going to be like, ah, this thing is actually looking terrible, right? What Prettier does for you is Prettier helps you format your work. So after you finish typing and probably you did not arrange your work well, you can actually, you know, format your work, right? Format your work using Prettier. So I can just do Control A, right click, and I can do format documents with. So you can see I have a Prettier code format. I'm just going to click Prettier, and you can see that my code is now Prettier. My code has been arranged, right? So unlike when I had it very, very scattered, it is now arranged properly. So this is what Prettier does for you, right? So that's why you need the Prettier extension, especially as a newbie. You may have very, very scattered work. Yeah. So as you can see at this body section and this head section, you can see that it is displaying in different colors. That's because it is a comment. It is a comment. It is not meant to run. It is not meant to run. So if I let me take this, I can comment this out by highlighting it and doing Control/. It has commented this stuff out. So if I just go to my live server right now, you can see it says, hello world, I am Victoria, but it does not display, hello world, I am Victoria, but it does not display this thing here. It does not display it because I have commented it out. It does not display it, right? So comments are actually in between this greater than symbol, exclamation mark, and this dash with dash and greater than symbol. It's actually between these two. For you to create a comment, you can just easily do Control/ and then put whatever thing you want to put there. Comments are actually very important for your document because it helps people understand what you are doing. It helps people understand what you are doing or why you are actually using a particular, it helps people understand what you're actually doing in your document. So I can just put here this, can just put a comment there and say this is a paragraph. So even somebody that does not even understand front end, the person can actually look at your code and understand that, oh, this is what this place is. This place is a paragraph. So comments just actually help you tell people what you're actually working on or what you are doing in your documents, right? That is just the work of the comments. And it's actually very, very important. It's actually very, very important to use comments. It's actually nice. It makes your work understandable. It makes it easy for you. Even you, when you have written a code, let's say you build a project and then you push it to your GitHub and years later you want to check this code. You might have forgotten why you did a particular thing in the code or why you wrote a particular line of code. If you have comments there, you can just read the comments and you remember easily that, okay, you wrote this line of code to do this, maybe to display something, to create a paragraph, or maybe to display different animal pictures on a website. It just basically tells you what you did there. So even in years to come, anytime you check your code, you remember that, okay, this is why I did this, right? So yes, so every single thing that belongs to the head section, like title tag, link tag, everything goes into the head section. While the body section is for every single thing that you want to be displayed on your web page. As you can see, when we did this title, I am Victoria, right? So we did that title, I am Victoria. It did not display here. That is because it is in the head section. Everything about this tab goes in the head section. I am Victoria did not display here because it is in the head section. But this hello world, I am Victoria, it shows here because I placed it in the body section. So every single thing you want your viewer to see has to go in the body section, right? So if you go here, for example, outside the body section, and you put something like hello, so let's see if that will work. if you go to your, as you can see, I don't have to save for me to see what is happening because I'm using live server, right? So if you put something outside the body section, it actually still displays, but it is actually a very, very wrong thing to do. It is a very, very wrong thing to do. You're not supposed to put anything you want to be displayed in the body set in the web page is outside the body section. Every single thing you want to be displayed in the body should be in between the body. That is why it is the body tag. You placing this hello now outside the body tag, you are actually not following the HTML semantics. You are not following the HTML semantics by putting this hello here, right? It is actually wrong of you. You putting it outside is actually wrong of you. So anything you are putting, you have to make sure that it's in between the right tag, that it is in between the right tag. Now, I would like to explain something about the link tag and the anchor tag. To get the comment tag, if you would do control slash gives you the comment tag. So please and please, the link tag is different from the anchor tag. The link tag is different from the anchor tag. Let me explain this. We have what we call, I'll take this out. We have what we call container tag. It is actually in the resources. We have container tag and empty tags. We have container tags and empty tags. I'm going to comment this. So we have container tags and empty tags. Container tags are tags that have content, tags that act as containers. As you can see, this body tag is acting as a container. We can write things inside the body tag that we want to display in the web page. This head tag is acting as a container. We can put in things here that we want to, give details about the document in the head section. Container tag just simply means a tag that acts as a container. So a container tag actually have content in it. So the paragraph tag is a container tag because I can put the paragraph tag, right? And then put in something there, like, let's say this is Zuri cohort 2. This is a container tag because it allows me put in something in between the tag. And that is why it is a container tag. It has content that can be displayed. But an empty tag is an empty tag. It does not allow you put in things to be displayed, right? This is an example of an empty tag. The link tag is an example of an empty tag. As you can see here, it is just there. It does not have a closing tag like this. It does not have a closing tag like this. It does not have a closing tag like this. You cannot put slash and then type link here. It is very wrong. It is very wrong to do this. It is just an open-ended tag. It does not allow you type in content because you don't have the closing tag. It means you cannot type in anything in between. You understand? So this is not a container tag. This is just an empty tag, basically. It is an open-ended tag. It is an empty tag in the sense that you cannot put in content in between the closing and the opening tag because it does not even have any closing tag in the first place. So as you can see, this is Zuri cohort 2. This is Zuri cohort 2, right? This is a container tag. So another tag is the image tag. The image tag. The image tag is not a container tag. The image tag is an empty tag in that it does not allow you putting content. You cannot put in image tag. You cannot put in image tag and then close it. It does not have a closing part. You understand? The image tag is just there. It's just for you to display an image, right? It's just for you to display an image. So it does not allow you put in content. So if you want to use the image tag, you just put the image there and then you put the source. The source means where am I getting the image from? Where should the browser get the image from? That is just the meaning of source, right? So the source can be an external URL from a site, or it can be a picture that you have in your doc, in your folder, right? To enable you to use a picture in your folder, this folder I created here, I named it intro, right? Intro. To enable me use a picture in my folder, I just basically need to go to my file here, the folder in my desktop, right? My laptop. I'll just go there and paste in the picture I want to put in there so I can access it in my VS Code. As you can see, I pasted my picture in here, right? So if I come here, I can now use it here. It displays right here. So I can just put my source to be my picture, right? So you can just be my picture. .jpg. You can see that it's already even giving me suggesting, right? So you just put the source there, and then you can put an auth attribute. The auth attribute basically displays when your picture cannot be accessed, right? So I'm just going to put an auth attribute here and say, okay, I am Victoria's picture. So I am Victoria's picture, right? So let me just remove E from this thing here, so it will not display. You can see that my picture now, it is not actually correct because this is not what is here. So if I go to my live server right now, you can see that my picture is broken because HTML cannot access my picture. It is broken. The browser cannot access my picture. It is what? It is broken. So it displays the alternative text that what is here that you cannot see is actually, I am Victoria's picture. So even if the person cannot see the picture because of one issue or another, the person automatically knows that, okay, what is supposed to be displayed there is I am Victoria's picture. So the auth attribute is actually important, even for people that read websites, right? So they can know, okay, this picture is for this picture is for that, right? All those e-commerce websites, Jumia, they use the auth attributes. It is very important, right? It is HTML semantics basically, and you are expected to follow the HTML semantics. So if I put in the e back, and I go to my live listing, you can see that my picture now displays without the alt text because my picture is available. So if my picture is available, there's only for the alt text. The alt text only displays when the picture is not available. So as you can see, my picture is actually very big there. I can add extra attributes to my image tag. I can add extra attributes. Please, if you cannot see my screen, simply, if my screen is blurry, simply increase the settings on your device. Increase the quality settings on your device. Increase the quality settings on your device, right? So my picture is actually too big, right? I can add a width, right? I can add a width to my picture. Maybe I want to reduce the quality of my picture. If you check the assignment, right? Let's just check this assignment again. If you check the assignment here, it says use the attributes height 200 pixels and width 200 pixels to prevent your picture from overflowing. So if you have a very big picture, a picture with a very big size, right, it may overflow, right? So to prevent this, you actually use, you limit the size, and you have been asked to use this in your tribute tags. If you don't use this and it overflows, you are going to fail, right? If you don't follow the instruction, you will fail for it. So you make sure that you put this in your image tag. So I'm just going to, let me use this one here. Oh, there's no need for me to use that because I'm using the style attribute. So let me just type that directly. So I can just put with 200 pixels. And I can put height. So 50 pixels. So we see how it shrinks, right? I'm just going to use 50 pixels for that. So to do Ctrl S because it's live server. So you can see that it has shrinked seriously. It is now very small, right? So you can see how important these tags are, because somebody looking at your website, all those e-commerce websites you see, not going to make any sense because you now have to like only one image has covered everywhere. So you have to, use the width and height, right? There are other ways you can do this using CSS. But since we have not touched CSS, we're basically going to use everything HTML. So that is it about this image tag. So basically, the image tag is an empty tag in the sense that it doesn't allow you to do that. So now let me explain the difference between the link tag and the anchor tag. Some people might confuse the anchor tag. First of all, the link tag, see the link tag closes it. But the anchor tag has a closing tag. You can see it, that this is the opening tag, and this is the tag is just link. It's just link like this. It does not have a closing tag. So these two, even if these things or helps you navigate to somewhere else, they are not the same. This is a container tag, and this is an. The link tag is also meant for the head section, while the anchor tag is meant for the body section. You cannot use the link tag to navigate your HTML documents. You can only use the link tag to link documents. There's a document out there. Please, I want you to have that in mind when you are running my code. I am getting something that does that. The anchor tag basically helps users to navigate on your body, on the web page that you are displaying. For example, let's go here. Google, So let's just say I. So when I engine, when I type I, that I have different things popping up here. I have this link, I have this link, I have this link. If I click on this now, it takes me to another page, right? What makes this possible is the anchor tag, not the link tag. This is because the anchor something. The link tag does not give you the opportunity to click on something because it is not a container tag. But the anchor tag makes it possible for you to put in. You can now click on that thing to navigate, right? So I can click on this and it takes me to another page because of the anchor tag. Because of the anchor tag. Let us do this. Here now. If we come here now, see this link tag. First of all, there's nothing I can put there, right? Now let me go to this. This is Zurich Court. I can come here now to this Zurich, right? And put an anchor tag there. This is only possible because the anchor something in between. So I can put this Zurich in between this anchor tag, right? So this is Zurich. This is Zurich. The Zurich inside the anchor tag. I can now put a link to the Zurich website. I can put a link to the Zurich website using the anchor tag link tag. the link tag is for the head section, right? I cannot do this using the link tag. The link tag is for the head section. So I'm just going to put in the anchor tag uses the href attribute. So I'm just going to put in the href there and then the URL of where I'm linking to. So I'm just use the Zuri website. So I'm just going to copy the Zuri website here. You can use what I'm doing, copy, Ctrl+C is copy. So when I copy that, I come here, then I put in the href there, right? I put in that. So what this will do now is that it will make Zuri a link. It will make Zuri a link. So when I go to the live server now, where it's running, you can see here that this is Zuri is not a link. You can see that Zuri is not a link, and it's putting the and symbol telling me that, oh, I can click on this. If I click on this now, it now takes me a page to the Zuri LMS, right? This is because of the this using the link tag. So basically, do not get it twisted. The link tag is absolutely different from the anchor. And now go back. Can go back. So yes, and the anchor tag. So please also remember this. Do well to go through what the resources. So let me answer some questions from the form I sent out. So somebody asked, what embed tag is actually, you can use embed tag to display images, but it is not advisable. That is like outdated stuff. Please use the image tag to display images, but now it is outdated, right? So please do not use that to display image. So if you come to W3 schools, yeah, we have many tags there. I can just go to the embed tag. This is the embed tag, right? So as you can see what it clearly says here. Warning, most browsers no longer support Java applet and plugins, right? So this embed tag is actually outdated. Most browsers will not support it. So when you are trying to display an image. So please, this is what I mean by you being updated. As you can see, there are so many tags. There are some tags that are outdated. We're using HTML5. Before HTML5 4 and different HTML version. But now we are in HTML5 and HTML5 is the latest version. The form is on the LMS. That's the form I'm talking about. So the HTML5 is the latest. What you are using to code is actually supported by the latest version, right? You're not using something outdated. For example, now this embed tag, most browsers will not support it. So please use the image tag. As much as you can see here, we can use the embed tag to display images and other things, but we can also use to display video, but it is not advisable. Kindly use the image tag and the video tag, right? Schools are actually very, very nice. You can check out many tags because HTML has so many tags and we cannot definitely cover all the tags in class, but you can do yourself good by researching wider. You do not have to wait for us to cover everything more before researching more. So please use the image tag. So somebody asked for your state of origin tags. If state of origin is where you come from, state of origin simply means you can come from Delta and be living in Lagos State, right? If you put state of origin as Lagos State, what you are trying to say is that you are from Lagos. That is what it means. So the state of origin for your assignment simply means Where are you from? Where is your father from? Not where you are living. Not where you are living. For those asking about the front, right? So CSS and JavaScript sufficient for front end. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is the basics. It is the main thing. You cannot learn React. Without HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you cannot even learn Bootstrap and other things because you will not understand how these frameworks work. It's just like saying you want to build up building without without making foundation, right? You have to start from the foundation before you can add a story building. And the foundation for front end are very sufficient with HTML and JavaScript. You can build things even without React and all those other frameworks. All those frameworks and others, they're just extra. They're just extra to make your work easier, right? To make your work easier. But basically, JavaScript. And for you to even go further to make your work easier, you have to learn the fundamentals. So please, HTML and JavaScript is actually very important and sufficient to build websites. So what's the difference between Git and GitHub? We actually asked you guys to sign up on GitHub. Then I understand that, okay, this is where the question is coming from. Git is actually just actually helps you track your work, right? When you want to use Git in VS Code, you install the Git bash and set it up, right? VS Code, right? This is my work now. I can track it. I can go to my terminal, right? I can track it and I can track it, right? Git init. I've initialized Git in this my repository. What Git will do for me is Git will take my work. It is a version control system. It will track my work. As I'm adding details now, you can see that as I initialize Git now, you can see that actually changed to green, right? It changed to green. And you can see here that it's showing this symbol here, right? It's showing this UUU stuff here, right? Because it's helping me track changes. So, but what GitHub does is GitHub actually works with GitHub, no doubt. It helps you, GitHub actually, it's a hub, as the name implies, it is a hub. It helps you just tracking your work with GitHub. You can now push your work to, after tracking your work with Git, you cannot push your work to GitHub. Without tracking your work with Git, you cannot push anything to GitHub in the first place, you understand? Because, oh, no, I mean for codes, basically. Because you have to track it with Git first. It is Git that is the main, save different version of your work. And then you push it to GitHub. GitHub is a hub for your repository, your repositories, right? So you push your work to GitHub. You're actually saving your work there. It just helps you manage your work and it just helps you collaborate with other people, right? So I can be using Git on my system, Git on his system. That does not mean that I can collaborate with the person. The only way I can collaborate with the person is through GitHub. So the person can push the work to GitHub, and through GitHub, I can now see that, okay, this is what the person is working. Basically, the difference between Git and GitHub. GitHub is just the hub where everybody using Git pushes their work. While GitHub is actually what is running in the background in your system, trying to help you correctly and properly. So yeah, somebody asked, okay, I've answered this. VS Code, you need your lifesaver and your prettier. We are asked to submit URL. Are we to host? Please don't host anything on Netlify or anywhere. You will not have to host anything. Simply do your work on CodePen and send the link to your CodePen. CodePen and send the link to your CodePen. That is your mode of submission. CodePen URL. Is different from BR. Somebody asked, let's go into close this terminal, please. HR is different from BR, right? So I'm just going to take this out. HR is different from BR. This is what it means. For example, now, let's say I have the paragraph tag and I have hello. I have hello written. This is my paragraph. Let me format this, please. My work is looking scattered, so I'm just going to format this with the prettier extension. My work looks okay now. This is a paragraph, right? This is what HR does. HR gives you a line. So you can see HR. I put this HR here now. So HR will actually just divide these two things, right? So if I go to my, as you can see, I have this beautiful line right here. This beautiful line you are seeing, that's the result of HR. That's the result of HR. HR is different from BR. This is what BR does. BR simply breaks your state law. So I can come here and just put the BR tag. If I come here and put the BR tag, it will take to learn, to put to learn on another line. So let's check that. As you can see, it says I am here to learn. It has broken the sentence into 2 lines. If your front end with 2 tags cannot appear on your LMS, you should probably refresh ADA. But I'm going to check back with the team and get back to you guys. Probably in my next office hour, I'll mention something about that on my own end. But I'll check that and get back to you guys. So that's the difference between HR and BR for that person that asked. And then the next question says, okay, I don't think comments. So let me just, so I think I've attended to the relevant questions. Okay, somebody asked what div is, that the tutor was actually mentioning div throughout the tutor, she was mentioning div throughout her class. So div is basically just a wrapper. The div tag is basically just a wrapper. It does not really have any. The div tag is actually important when it comes to styling your work, right? When it comes to styling your work. Let's check this out on W3 Schools so you have a better understanding. So if I go to W3 Schools now, let's check out the div tag here. If you click on this div tag here, you see that it's just a wrapper. It's basically a wrapper. It does not really have any meaning outside the wrapper. It's just a wrapper. You use it to wrap your work. As you can see here, this place says div. Class is equals to my div. When you start doing CSS, you understand more the importance of the div tag. The div tag is just to wrap your work. When you want to apply a particular style to maybe more than 3 lines or more than 4 lines of code or different tags, you want to apply a particular style to it, you can just wrap it with the div tag and CSS. We have what we call class attributes. We have the ID attributes and other attributes for styling HTML elements, right? For styling HTML, more than one HTML element, like the H2 element and the P element, you can just wrap both of them in the div and put a class as my div or a class as whatever thing you want to give it. So if I open this, if I try it out now, you can see here that this H2 tag says this is a heading. It says this is some text in a div element. Now, because these two elements are being wrapped in the div element with the class as my div, both of them are sharing the same style. Both of them are designed. Both of them are designed. So it just helps you wrap your elements or wrap your elements. So if I want to, I can add other elements. See this P tag now, because the P tag is not inside this wrapped div, this div. The style does not apply to it. But if I put the P tag inside now and I run this, you can see that that P tag now is having the same style. It's having the same style. So what the div is just basically a wrapper. You can use the div in different ways, but do not use the div in places where you can't, where you can use other tags. The div is just a wrapper, as the name implies. Use it as a wrapper to wrap many elements together to give it a style. Don't use it as to wrap elements. Please follow the HTML semantics. So as you can see, I named this place has an attribute of class equals to my div. And then we came here and we designed it. We said dot my div CSS. But this is the way we design with CSS. The dots, we use the dots to call the class. So I'm saying dot my div. Everything inside the div elements having my div should have a border of 5 pixels and a red color, light blue. It should have a text align of center, right? This is just what it means. So if I change this to red now, everything, this wrapper that is carrying this class name, we take this. So yes, you can see very clear. So the div element is just a wrapper, nothing special attached. It's just a wrapper to your element. Maybe you have a group of elements that you want a particular style to apply to, right? You can just quickly use a div, or you can just element itself, right? If I come here now, if I take away this so just a wrapper, right? It's just a wrapper. So that is what when we get to CSS, you understand. So, but you know, it's good to even have an idea. So you're seeing it now. When you get to CSS, it's not going to be much. Style tag. This is a CSS tag. The CSS tag is a style tag. Please, Victoria, I'm only having 2 assignments on the front end. My peers are showing the assignments are 3. Right now, about 3 assignments right now. One from, no, there are about 4 actually. 2 from last week and 2 from this week. Maybe you can log out and log in again. That should be just technical issues or a live server is actually what helps you run your codes. No, sorry, it helps you this. So when you go to this place now, you can actually save your document and have it display. But you will not have to be like auto saving. Like you have to be like saving all the time. Live server, just the way live server works, when you're working with live server, any change you make here Give me 1 minute to plug my laptop. So yeah, the lifesaver just basically automatically saves things for you and updates browser. So if I just come here and change this thing to Hello Team, I don't need to do Control S. Just come here and it just updates. You can see it has changed to Hello Team. So please install the lifesaver extension. Install the lifesaver extension. So let me check what was I explaining? I was explaining the tag, div tag, right? So I'm just going to check the chat box for any other question. Any other question? Assignment. The assignment mentioned the use of some tags, right? The assignment mentioned the use of some tags. You can see that some of us scrolling down here, I'm seeing some tags already. You can see, just in case you don't understand it properly, because it has been explained in the class, but just in case you miss that, or maybe you don't understand properly, W3 schools. As you can see here, this is a paragraph, this is a normal text. The small tag, as the name implies, it just makes your text smaller. It basically just makes your text. If I use it small tag here now, I use this small tag here for team, right? I use small tag here for as you can see, we can have a tag inside a tag. That's nested tags. Even the body said that's tag inside tags, right? Absolutely okay. You can have a tag inside a tag, right? That's very fine. So if I come to the lifesaver now, as you can see, you see that the team is smaller than the team. The team here. That's because of the small tag, right? That's because of the small tag. So that's just what the small tag does. The strong tag just basically makes things bold. Instead of using the big tag, now they have contribute your documents. We suggest that you use the strong tag instead of the bold tag. The strong tag actually does the same work with the bold tag. So for those of you asking about the assignment, as you can see, this page is a strong tag, and you can see the text. This text is important. It's actually bold. It's actually so the bold tag, the strong tag basically makes your text bold, right? So for those saying that they're using their phone to navigate the LMS, I've not tried navigating the LMS with my phone before because I have a laptop. It may be more difficult for you to use your phone because the LMS is supposed to be used, right? Supposed to use on the laptop so you have a better experience. But you can, if you're using your phone, you can change it to desktop. Right, I've not used the phone for the LMS before, so I may not be able to understand your issues, right? If you want to know about fixed caption too, like I said, everything is here. As you can see, the fixed caption, so you can see the difference. Fixed caption is just for you to, as the name implies, fixed caption, just like giving a caption to a figure, right? So this is the caption for this figure. You know, they said you should add a picture. Add a picture of the person you admire. That picture now add a caption under the picture, right? You can add a caption under the picture. So if If you admire me, you can write, I am Victoria, my name under my picture. When you add whatever person you admire, put the person's picture there and put a fake caption. So that's like one way you can use that. For the small, use these tags in your tribute page, right? That is the requirement, right? Please note that we strictly follow the requirements. So if you don't use the fake tag or you don't use the small tag, your marks will be, your grade will be deducted, like to be reduced. Yes, please use the HTML tags for your assignment. Use the HTML tags for your assignment. You can code pen, but if you are typing with code pen directly, use your HTML tags. Let me go to code. Use your HTML tag. If you want to write paragraph here now, you must use the P tag because this is the body, and in the body, you must use the tag. Right? So if you want to put a paragraph there, you want to write a paragraph, you must use the P tag. Type all the tags. Put it there. I am Vic. I am Vic. I am Victoria. Put your assignment. And you don't use HTML tags for your body. To HTML if you're not going to use the tags. So please use the P tag, use the HTML tags in your documents if you want to get your full mark. If you don't, because week 2 is different from week 1. We tolerated those things week 1 because we have not introduced HTML. Since I am spending my time right now to explain these things. So if you don't use the HTML tags, okay. Thank you so much for admiring me. I'll put my picture on Slack. It's already there. You can download it and use me for the tribute tag. So I want to explain something about HTML semantics to you guys. When it comes to HTML, I'm going to clear a bit off. So when it comes to HTML, we have different tags. We have the H1 tag. We have heading tags, right? We have H1, right? Let me just. We have the H2 tag too. We have the, I want you guys understand better what I mean by using the right tag for the right H1 to H6. I'm not going to use all of them, but just for you guys to know. H6. H6. These tags are heading tags. As the name implies, it's an heading tag. If you can maneuver your way an heading, then what is the point of having an heading tag? It makes no sense. So please use the heading tag for. Now, if I put in if I go to my live server now, As you can see, it's an heading tag. It's an heading tag. This place is bigger than this place. This is H1. H1 is the biggest. H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. And heading be this small. This one is almost smaller than normal text. Many people may not use this too. They may not use this, right? But do you see this H1, H2? Very popular. Many people use it, right? Because it's actually big enough. But it is there are heading tags, right? So you're supposed to use them for headings, right? Stubborn and do something wrong, which is not good. Please use the H. Somebody can do this. Somebody can do this now. Somebody can, no, I'm not going to use. What I want to use is outdated, right? You can see that it's already showing me red because you see this font tag. Font tag is not HTML5, but it was accepted in HTML4, right? It is no longer accepted in HTML5, so that is why it's showing red. I have already told my browser and my VS Code that I'm actually writing using something that HTML5 does not accept. That's why it's actually showing red. You understand? Right? So when it comes to fonts, we can actually use fonts to increase the size of a text. Increase my size of text, I can make it 7 pixels, right? 7 pixels. The static measurement in HTML and CSS. So I'm just going to give this I am Victoria, the same thing I used. So I am Victoria, right? If I go to my live server now, you can see that right? I am Victoria is big, it's like an heading. Some people might want to do something like this. For you to use other tags, manipulate other tags to give you headings. This thing looks fine. The font tag is not meant to be an heading tag. Use the heading tag for headings. So instead of you to do this and make your work terrible, use the H tag. When they see it, they will know, oh, it's an heading tag. But this one is terrible. Please don't do something like this. If there are other tags you can manipulate to get it, it is wrong. Use the proper tag for the proper things. Thank you. So this class has lasted about 2 hours now. And they'll be on that class by 7. But I don't want to like delay them. So I'll be ending this class by 6:50 because I don't want to, delay others or distract others from joining that I have the next class or the next that wants to join the next office hour 9. But I'm going to end it at 6:50, right? Relax and probably have time for the resources, or think about everything you have learned today. And please, I want your questions. Use the form. It is very important. Use the form. Fill in your questions there. I want to see your questions there. I want to see your questions. The only questions from the form will be attended to first in my classes. In my classes. So let me just, since I have like 7 minutes, I'm just going to look at the chat box now, right? For any question, some questions are repeated questions. You have to start using CodePen at least. GitHub, I've not gotten to GitHub, but yes, you don't need to have work before you use GitHub. You can push, even if it's 1 line of code, push it there. Use GitHub. Nobody is holding you from it. There's no consequences. Anything you are learning, after the class, you practice something with your VS Code and you know how to use GitHub already. You don't know how to use GitHub already. Wait for when we get to GitHub and we explain properly to you how to use GitHub. But why do you need CodePen? You need environment. If you're learning front-end, you're learning how to code. You need a coding environment to practice. CodePen is one way to practice these things. VS Code is one way to practice these things. Because we have not taught you guys Git. The videos may be out already in resources, but right, this week is for HTML. I've not gotten to the Git week. So you may know how to use GitHub. Some people may not know how to use GitHub. Carrying the beginners along. So the CodePen URL, since we have not like entered the section how to use Git yet, but everyone can just easily use the CodePen and copy the link to their CodePen and send to us, and send the link to your repo, right? So it is because we have not entered. That is why we said use the CodePen to submit your work. Create a single HTML element to your name. Okay, that's assignment. We did not actually, at the points we gave you that assignment, we had not like entered HTML. So that is why we did not ask you to use any tag. And that is why we graded your work. If we have introduced you all to HTML, you must use the HTML tags and you must follow the HTML semantics and follow suit. You must use, if you submit any work without HTML tags, so sorry, but you will fail. So sorry, you will fail and you will not be. The assignment given to you is the assignment for the tribute tags. The tribute tags is not about somebody you admire. So I never said anything wrong. The tribute tag is about somebody you admire, right? So write about somebody you admire. You use the HTML tags. You use the HTML tags. If you are doing Mr. Ade's tags, you have last week's assignment was an assignment for you to create a single page that talks about why you chose front end and what front end is. That is the tag. So even if you did not use tag in that assignment for last week, we will still grade you because as at last week, we had not introduced. This week, every tag from now on, from this week, you must use the HTML tag. This is why we are introducing HTML. Yes, because we pushed out new tags and then we pushed out, I think we pushed out tags for more than, but basically any tags at all that has been posted from the, right? The tag I was referring, the assignment I was referring to was the one of last week. For from now, please use HTML semantics. It is very important. If you, because that is why we are teaching you guys, right? To use the HTML to write with HTML. If you don't start using it, you won't actually learn how to code. So I'm checking now. I'm seeing I can't find any question. Can't find any question. If your live server does not automatically display the changes, it means that you don't have live server. It means you don't have live server, right? You have to be, when you go to extension, right? Extension, the live server, when you download, it is enabled because you may download it and it is disabled, As you can see, I can disable it. So you have to make sure that it is enabled. You install it. After you install it, you make sure that it's enabled. It may not be working because it is not enabled. So you have to enable it. So this is breaking. It is probably network issues. So sorry. If it's not still working, if you disabled and enabled it again, and it's not still working, please just uninstall and reinstall. And make sure you actually which week day. Use this one, use this particular lifesaver. You can see that many people are using it. You can use the one that people are using, right? So uninstall and install again, right? The code written in VS Code to CodePen, you can use CodePen directly to type your code, but I'm not restricting you. If you want to use VS Code to type your code, you can type it on VS Code and then copy it to CodePen. Nobody will see what you are doing. They're the one working on your own. The main thing is that submit your assignment through CodePen. So anyhow you choose to do it, if you choose to type on VS Code and then copy and paste it to CodePen, that is basically your decision. If you choose to type directly on CodePen, right, and then submit your link, that is still your decision. The main thing is that you should do what you were asked to do, which is submit a CodePen link. Submit a CodePen link. If you go and push to GitHub and you submit a GitHub link, fine, GitHub is good, but will fail you. You will be graded down because you did not follow the instruction. What is most important to us is you learning how to code and you learning how to follow instructions. Okay, what will happen? Okay, I'm going to post on random, right? On random on Slack, and then I'm going to paste the link there. Or in the front-end channel, yes, there's a front-end channel on Slack. I'm going to paste the link to the form on the front-end channel again, right? It's supposed to be on your LMS. I don't know why you're not seeing it, but make sure that you're registered for front-end or full stack before you can see it. If you're not doing front-end or full stack, you won't be able to see it. If you don't, nobody is forcing you to use GitHub. That's why I said submit your CodePen URL. Submit your CodePen URL. Nobody is forcing you to use GitHub until we get to the point where we teach you GitHub. GitHub is very important, no doubt. It is very, very important. But I'm just saying for now, submit your CodePen URL since we have not properly introduced GitHub. That is just what I'm saying. You can copy the whole HTML if you want to. If CodePen allows you, fine. You can copy everything with the structure. If it doesn't allow you, if it keeps on throwing the error, like me now, when I post it there, when I copy and paste it there, it allows me. But some people, it may not allow them until they clean it off, right? So if it allows you, fine, that's nice. If it does not allow you, take away the structure and leave the contents, the body contents with the body tags there. Let me just quickly show you that I'm already, I'll just show you that now and end the call, right? So to get the CodePen link is just this, just copy this link here, right click, copy, or Control C. You have gotten your CodePen link. If I copy this now, just to be sure, you can open an incognito tab, right? New incognito window. Paste it there and see if somebody else should be able to view it. This is a new incognito window. I'm viewing this as if I'm not the owner of the document. And as you can see, there is displaying assignment 1. And it's displaying my work. So just copy the CodePen URL from here like this, finish. That is just how it works. To access the form on the LMS, let me just show you that. If you go to post, I made it on post. If you go to post, as you can see here, there are different posts here. So it is in mentors. I made the post, I gave it the heading, mentors office hours week 2. I have all this displaying because I'm a tutor, so I can see everything. But you as a front-end or full stack person will not be able to see all these plenty things. You just see it easily. As you can see, I posted this for full stack, front-end and PHP. You can see that some people has viewed viewed it. You can see that people have already viewed it. 330 people have viewed it. I just posted this yesterday night. So you can see here, front-end office hour. I'm just going to open this one. Must contain your body tags. Your body tags means tags that you use in the body, like paragraph tag, image tag, thick caption tag, small tag, all those tags. You must use it on your code pen. The only thing that complains about is just the HTML doc type, the doc type HTML, because it's already taken that is an HTML document. That's the only thing that CodePen complains about. Every other thing, your normal body tag, every tag you use in your body section, you over and over again. Anybody that does otherwise will fail. So if you look at this here, it says, kindly fill out the form based on with tools content. So when you click on this form here, when you click on the form, you click on the form, you see this. So you can just fill in your questions here. That's just basically it. And just click on calendar. Yeah, attach the front-end calendar, and it will show you the calendar. To show you the calendar. Very simple. So guys, I have to respect other people's time, right? There's another class on that office hour by that they have a class. So I'm going to end this class now. Thank you so much for joining the class. I really enjoyed my time with you. Helped you guys understand HTML more. Please know that we are here for you guys, right? And as much as research is key and it's good for you to, do your year to help you guys in every way we can. That's why we are mentors. Please do well to fill out the form to help us serve you guys better the class hours, right? So we'll know, okay, when we come on the class, we're answering this, and answering that. And then we'll have extra time, we explain extra things. Make use of the form. Thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that you guys actually understood some things from this class. So bye, guys.